Hey, Rachel. I thought I'd go ahead and start doing the background while I'm waiting for everybody to get in. This is an angle. I might have to switch it over to this other one. So we're going to color in Kerby's Fragile World today. Hi, Tina. How's it going? Be here as long as you can, but I know you got stuff to do. So, yeah, I'm going to color this. It's the endangered black rhino. According to the back, in the back, it tells a little bit about each piece that Kerby's doing. Hi, Bacola. How you doing? Janet. Hi, Julia. Pamela. So, yeah, I thought we would, it's been a while since we've done a color book, so we'll go ahead and the cat, hey, you two. They play, but then they start hissing at each other. So, how's everybody doing today? Let's see. Okay, Rachel. Hi, Terry. Yeah, I thought while everybody was coming in, I would just work on, I want to just leave a little bit where the birds are so I know where they kind of are, because I'm going to just go over, paint it, put the light color on top. So there's not too many birds. So, well, there's a few. So anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and start painting in the background because this takes a while and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's kind of a monotonous part of, doing a background when I paint it all black. So we're going to do mixed media. We're going to have paint, maybe some watercolor, maybe some water-based markers. Obviously, we can't do alcohol markers because it's not a double. I mean, it's a double-sided page, and I don't want to ruin the back page. So, and of course, I'll have homework for you guys in a little while, and we'll probably do a giveaway. So, a little of everything today. So, what's everybody else working on? Oh, that's what Mike has to do. People don't realize when they're cleaning each other. Yeah. They get a little feisty, but they're brother and sister. So we always go, they were in the womb together. That's what we always say. So yeah, Denise rescued them, and we ended up with them. Hi, Julie Topaz. Happy wonderful Wednesday to you too. Hi, Gaga, Carla, Tori, Kilburns. Good morning, everybody. Terry Brett. So how's everybody doing so far on their Wednesday? Oh, now my sisters and sister-in-laws are going to start texting. I'm going to have to take the phone out of here, I think. It's going to be group family morning, it looks like. They're all going to start texting each other. And I'm on their group text, so I'll just, if it keeps going, I'll move my phone out of here. So, yeah, I just thought I would start on this a little early so that we could get a head start on doing this endangered black rhino. Hi, Calora Becky. Crafting Amy. Kelly S. Well, then take care. Just go to the healing corner, Gaga. Go sit in the healing corner. And we haven't sent people to the healing corner in a while. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun day. I'll get your homework out. I'll give you your homework for Monday. I got a pretty small brush here because there's some tiny areas. Plus, I'm trying to go around these little birds. And I have just a tiny bit of water right here just to kind of keep my brush from getting crusty. I need to get out a baby wipe to keep cleaning it. All right, let me take my phone out of here. And get a baby wipe. So as you're doing acrylic paint, you know, like when you're using the same color, well, even if you're not, but every now and then you just need to kind of clean your brush because especially if it's a small brush, it's going to start getting crusty. You know, the acrylic paint will start to harden. Let me move my pencils right here. These are the colors I'm going to use on the Rhino. So that, and so I got some colors picked out here that we're going to use. So you just keep cleaning your brush every now and then. Let's see. I just came in and seat myself in the naughty corner. Janet's going to go sit in the naughty. If anybody wants to go sit in the naughty corner with Janet. Tina, you want to go sit in the naughty corner with Janet? Hi, Diana. Let's see. I don't know, Julie. Sometimes I don't know if all my mods get naughty, then will they be nods? Naughty mods? Is that nods? What am I gonna do if all my mods get naughty? Hi, Aunt Beck. Oh, Pacola, my little snapdragon won't get naughty. Will you, Pacola? Oh, so let me keep going here. So yeah, is anybody watching Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel every Tuesday? This is the second season. So it was on last night. I don't know if anybody else watches it. I love those kind of shows. Let's see. Tanya. Do I just have a room full of naughties? Are all of y'all going to go sit in the naughty corner? Hi, Maseki. Everybody's going, I'm going to the naughty corner. So yeah, I'll keep reading chat and just kind of working on this for a little bit. Just trying to get some of the background done. Y'all know I come on about 8:30 every Monday and Wednesday. And I do a live stream usually for about around 3 hours is about how long I stream every Monday and Wednesday. And so yeah. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope y'all will have a nice time, even if you're in the naughty corner. Yeah, let's don't make it Wicked Wednesday, Tina. Oh my gosh. It's bad enough. It's bad enough when y'all get naughty. Oh my goodness. So I'm not zoomed in right now. I'm just filling in the background. Y'all know I do usually not usually, sometimes, not all the time, but I do like working on a black background, like it's a night sky, and all these animals are just having a good time in the night. And so, and I need to get back into Luna as well, but I haven't even finished my last page in this book. I base coated it, but I said I'm going to go ahead and move to this one today. Let me make sure that doesn't touch. But so here are my axolotls. So it's all base coat. It's all a wash on it. Now I have to go in here with color pencil. So I've got my wash done. So maybe I might go back over here and work on that one too. But I just felt like doing this one today. I could throw out a random number. Oh my goodness, you guys. I don't oh. So I am going to do a giveaway though, Aunt Beck, later. So I'm going to lift this up so I don't get it on the next page. You really want to put something behind it, like a piece of wax paper or something, so you don't glue your edges together or get it on the next page. I'm just trying to be a little careful here, right along the edges. So yeah, but I'm going to give homework. It's going to involve a little bit of fabric, Aunt Beck. It's going to have a little bit of fabric in your homework today. So I'm trying to give everybody lots of ideas to keep in your Society of Idea Collector notebook, so you never run out of ideas if you collect them. I'm not giving you all the ideas. You have to collect them yourself. But giving you homework so you start filling it up. Hi, Juanita. Where you been, girl? Girl, where you been? Haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. I hope you're okay. And I haven't seen any notifications that you've been streaming either. Is everything okay with you? I haven't seen you stream, and I haven't seen you anywhere. Not just mine, but other people's streams. So I hope you're all right. Let's see. Sarah Moonlit Crafter. Oh, said hi to Becky. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well that's why. So, did you have to go out of town for that, or did he live close to by you? Well, sorry to hear that, Juanita. Just I knew you hadn't been around for a while. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Juanita said her half brother passed away, so everybody's giving their condolences. Hi, Fernando. Did I say hi to you, darling? Yeah, I did. Tanya. Anybody else I missed? Thanks, everybody, for stopping in. Have a little bit of creative time and have some homework for the weekend. And have some something to keep your mind occupied. I'm right here on this edge here. I'm trying to get in between these little leaves. Let's see. Mina, Kathleen. Okay, Juanita. Well, you don't have to be here if you're on the phone. But we care about you. Let's see. Thank you, Juanita. Let's see who else. Let me ask y'all who did homework from last week and turned in their homework on Instagram. We showed quite a bit of people's homework on Monday from last week, and so I'm going to give y'all new homework today. New homework today for next Monday. And post it on Instagram, hashtag Society of Idea Collectors, all one word. It's real easy to find. I mean, you can post it other places too using the hashtag, but that's kind of where everybody usually posts. Hashtagged art is on Instagram. It's really easy, guys. If y'all don't have Instagram, at least go try to do it because it's really easy. Instagram's one of the, to me anyway, and to most people that use it, one of the easiest platforms to use. So yeah, post your art there, your homework, or anything else that correlates to your Society of Idea Collecting, and so everybody can go see it. All right, let's see. Beck just finished part 1 this morning, posted it to IG. Um, Tommy Joe. Oh, let's see. Okay, well, thanks for stopping in, Tommy Joe. Hi, Jane. Yeah, so everybody needs to follow each other on Instagram and, and check out the Society of Idea Collectors homework that everybody posts. So the homework's not hard, guys. When I say I give you homework, it's just ways to collect your ideas. It's nothing hard, I'm telling you. And it's all based on, let me wet my brush a little. It's getting a little dry. But I'm not putting any water in the black paint. It's just the paint. So if you want to play along with the homework, it's not hard. It's just about collecting ideas in some kind of a notebook, comp book, 3-ring binder, anything, any place that you want, sketchbook, anything that you can just collect your ideas in. I like to recommend a 3-ring binder eventually. You don't have to start with that, but eventually, because you're going to, it's going to fill up. When your ideas, your lists, your mind maps, everything, it starts to fill up pretty quick. And, you want to be able to move things around, put tabs, organize it. Hi, Jeanette Charbonneau. Charbonneau. Kelly C. Good morning. Who else? I don't know who, but Cole and Julie are talking about somebody doing their first video. All right, so you see it's going pretty fast here, but it is taking a little bit of time. So I thought, well, while I'm saying good morning to everybody, I would go ahead and work on the background. Otherwise, I'll be working on the background the most of the morning. And of course, I don't have to finish the background before we move on, but I wanted to try to at least get it around the Rhino, which I'll read the information about it that Kerby posted. He posted all these animals are, it's called Fragile World. I'll show you all the cover in a second. And they're all endangered species. And so he has a little write up about each animal in the back. So let me show you all the cover here. This is Fragile World. This one is World Within Worlds. And I've also been working in this one. And I bring this one out to show y'all because we've done a little bit more in this one, just to kind of show you some more ideas and how to, like this is just a wash of acrylic paint. And this is when you go back in with color pencil and Posca. So, but it starts like this. It starts like this. And see, again, here's a color back with a black background. So I just pulled that one, even though we're not working in that. But this is the one we're working in, Fragile World. And hi, Arlene. Who else am I missing? Teresa Duffy. So I thought I marked it, but I bet I didn't. So let's see. Here it is. Black rhinoceros, critically endangered. The black rhinoceros live in southern and eastern Africa. They are generally solitary and feed at night or during dawn and dusk, when they can escape the African sun. They mostly eat from trees and bushes, unlike their counterpart, the white rhinoceros, which grazes on grasses. Today, these magnificent creatures are on the brink of extinction due to poaching. Their horns are desired by many for the traditional medicine and ornamental dagger handles. So this is what we're doing today. So, and they feed at night. So night, doing the background black. Let's see, Barb Chicken Pot Pie Society. Who else? Just try to make sure I try to say good morning to everybody. If y'all have any questions, put it in caps. Make sure you have live chat selected at the top. Top chat's the default. So if you have top chat selected, you won't see all the chat. So you want to see all the chat, especially during a giveaway, which that will be later on. I'm going to do a giveaway. I have some happy mail, and I have Faithful Mess sent us some color books. So I still have two more of the ones I was going to give away today. I still have two more of these left, the Big Book of Less. So I'm going to give one of these away later, but I'll show you the color books in a minute. She goes to Ollie's and finds a lot of good markdown books that are really, $25 books and stuff that are marked down considerably. So she gets a bunch of them and she sends them to us, and I do giveaways with them. She sent me 1, 2, 3, 4. She sent me six color books. I'll show it in a little bit. And of course, she always sends me 3 or 4 books of stamps, and so I don't have to pay for shipping. She even sends let me get it here. She even sends these plastic book crate, to put in. Well, you put other things in them too, but they're real sturdy for books because I send these out book crate when I do the giveaways. And of course, I can't do them international, so I do 2 giveaways. I do a book giveaway for the U.S., and then I do another giveaway of a print for the international, because it's just the price to ship a book is more than the book cost. So you just can't ship a book for more than the book cost. Julia, Faithful Mess said that her Ollie's just she hadn't had color books in for a while. She hadn't had any in her Ollie's for a while, but she got these in. So she picked them up right away for us, which is awesome. So thank you, Faithful Mess. I consider Faithful Mess one of the people that support the channel, and I send her out a print every month. Although she spends way more on these books than a print, but I at least thank her. And I know y'all, if you win one of her giveaways, I know y'all always thank her whenever you see her for her generosity in sharing the books to send out. So let's see what else. Make sure that you are in 720 or 1080p in your little wheel setting, because sometimes if you go fuzzy, that's the first thing you should always check. Not just my stream. All these things I'm telling you about streams, that's for anybody's stream. Make sure that if your stream goes fuzzy, the first thing you should check is your little setting wheel to make sure that YouTube didn't knock you back into like 180 or something like that, because I'm streaming in 1080. And so make sure that your settings are in high quality. Let's see. Rhonda says, hi, Dee Dee. Fibs, everyone's doing well. Oh, good. Yeah, Rhonda got a book. The last book, I think, is the one that Rhonda's the one that won the last giveaway of the Flow book. So yay, I'm glad you liked it, Rhonda. So yeah, put it in caps if you're talking to me. I won't think you're yelling at me. I may still miss something you say. I'm not trying to miss anything. But the mods are real good about answering, unless they're in the naughty corner. So anyway, if they're in the naughty corner, like Janet most of the time. No, I'm just kidding. Janet's a hoot. Let's see. Hi, Uncle Dan. Candace. Who else am I missing? Hi, Mary. Mary just comes for the homework. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not the only reason she comes, guys. I'm just teasing. But Mary does more on the Society of Idea Collectors since, I don't even know how long we've had Society of Idea Collectors. It's been a lot of years. And we go through spurts where we do a lot in it. Then we might not do anything for a year or something in the Society of Idea Collectors. But there is a playlist. Picola made me, my little Snapdragon made me make a playlist for the Society of Idea Collectors. Some go way back, but if you look at the last month or so, those are our recent ones with the recent homework is in the playlist. But Mary does, she goes over and above, and she goes, oh, Dee Dee, I'm sorry, I think I went ahead in one of the mind mapping steps. So you did, Mary, but that's okay, because that's what I was going to do today was the questions. So but that's all right, Mary. You do what you do, you, Mary, because you're way, you've been doing it for so long. Mary has tons of books and notebooks and idea books and stuff. So if y'all don't follow Mary, let me see if I can click on her. Here she is. So follow the Mary Autier, and watch Mary collect more ideas than I'm even ever going to show you. Hi, Rain. Flo. Hi, Flo. How you been? Uncle Dan. Oh, you guys. Oh, let's see. Where did Julie? There. What did she say? I found some of my old ones from 2008 on IG when we were doing the syllabus journal. Yeah, that was a good one too. But after I show you guys the ideas for a few months or something, like the syllabus one, I figure if you really like it, you're going to keep up with it. I show you how to do it, right? Same thing for our Society of Idea Collector homework that I'm giving you now. I'll keep giving you homework as long as y'all like it. But, it's going to be eventually, you're going to have to turn into Mary. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. Y'all don't have to turn into Mary because Mary goes way above. But, she takes it to her own, how it works for her. And y'all have to do that too. I do encourage you, and I'm going to give y'all some more lists to do as well. You need to always be making new lists. You can make hundreds of thousands of different kinds of lists. And listing is one of the easiest way to collect ideas. Just get a topic, any topic, which I'm going to give you all a couple more topics today. Any topic, and start listing it. You can fill pages and pages and pages with just one topic, because I've done it. I know you can do it. And you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do, whatever topic, I might give you. You don't have to fill pages and pages right away. The idea is to have a page, tabbed or not, however you want to organize it, to have it in your book where you can continuously add to it. So, maybe go through every few months or weeks and just kind of flip through all your lists, and you'll read your list and go, oh, I don't have this on my list. I don't have that on my list. You're going to think of more things. So it's, the Society of Idea Collectors, you're going to collect ideas all your life. That's the idea. You're always collecting new ideas. You're never going to run out of ideas, and you're never going to run out of collecting them because there's so many. What's the best brush for what you do now? A small one. I use pretty much all inexpensive craft brushes, even the ones that look pretty, like the mermaid one and my unicorn ones. Even these are from Hobby Lobby, guys. I think you get 5 or 6 in a pack. I don't know. None of my brushes, they're almost always in packs of brushes, like a whole bunch of brushes, 5, 6, maybe 10 brushes for, under $10. And they, as long as you keep them clean, which I usually do, they'll last you a good while. And then when they start getting real flared or start breaking down, if they're big enough, now these I would just end up throwing away because the hairs will end up being gone. But if I have a brush that's like this size or something, and it starts getting ruined or well used, well loved, then it goes in my glue water. Then I'll start using it then it transfers over to being a glue brush. And the glue brushes are my only brushes that I keep in water. No other brushes. Oh, thanks, Mary. Well, Mary, you do awesome ideas. And I know people get so many creativity ideas and inspiration from your channel as well. And that the thing is, guys, you don't have to do all the projects Mary or I do. You don't have to do the exact projects, but keep your idea notebook handy so that when something occurs to you, it could be totally different, not even related to what, somebody else is doing, but you'll get an idea for something. That's what you want to write down. You want to write down things that occur to you to put in your book. It doesn't have to be exactly what somebody else is doing. I think it's, let's see, I think something in the lab experiment. No, it's not. Rachel's talking about my water bucket. My water bucket's usually, the water's usually clean. Just the bucket is, it's just stained. It's just stained. I mean, I could scrub it clean, but it's on the outside of the bucket. The inside, I clean the water out all the time. Just because the outside is dirty doesn't mean that the water is. Guys. But that's what Janet calls it, a lab experiment, because my bucket is stained. So let's see, who else? I don't see anything else. Make sure, hi, little sister Cheryl, put it in caps if you're talking to me, and I'll try to, look up and catch as much of the chat as I can. So again, if you're coming in now, I started doing the background about 8:30. I started early so I could get some of the background done because it kind of takes a little bit of time while I'm saying hi to everybody. While I'm saying hi to everybody coming in. And we are going to have a giveaway later. I'm going to give you all homework in a couple of minutes. I try to give you all the homework right away so that you don't miss it. And I do try to repeat the topic of the homework, but if you miss the whole explanation of the homework, which is never really very complicated, but if you miss it, you're going to have to go back, guys, and watch it because I'm not going to keep repeating it over and over and over. Somebody in chat may want to do it, but I'm not going to keep repeating the homework over and over and over. I'll do it a couple of times. But let's see. Hi, Molly. So, but I do try to give the homework within the first hour, and then we'll do the giveaway in, sometime. I've moved it to doing it at like the last hour. So, if you can try to be here or leave and come back or whatever, if you want to be in the giveaway. I do 2 giveaways, when any Wednesday that I do a giveaway, I do a book giveaway for the US, and then I do a print for the international. So I'm getting there. I don't know. Well, this is kind of big over here. I can probably get this pretty quickly. And you don't have to start with the background. I like to, but I don't always, and it depends if I'm going to do a black background. Like I said, I showed a minute ago, I got all the axolotl. We did this on a show here probably about a month ago where it took probably the whole show just to do this wash. To do the wash here in watered down acrylic. I think that's all watered down acrylic. And so now I've got the wash down, and now I have to go in with the color pencil. So that's how long it took to do the wash. So it does take a while to, I can't finish. Rarely can I finish. Now, I did finish 1 or maybe 2 in the Luna because they weren't there this complicated. When it has this much detail, it's going to take me longer than I can do in 3 hours. I try. But the other thing I want to do soon is a big collage poster. I haven't done a collage poster, a big one like 24 by 32 or 4 or 6, something like that. I haven't done a big collage poster in a while, and I need to pull those out of my closet in one of my portfolios. I moved all my big portfolios in the closet because they were like taking up so much room in here. Every corner had a big portfolio in it, and I was running out of room for anything else. So I organized them and put them all in the closet in the portfolios, or rolled up, depending on the size. I'm trying to keep just a little bit of a white something just so I know that there are birds there. And I'll go in and put those in with Posca or pencil. The little birds are scattered through. Let's see. I'm declaring it fib day today. Why not? Calling. So those of y'all don't know, fibs is an acronym for friends in the box. So FIBS, fibs, friends in the box. So let's go ahead and do this right here. Do this little tree, and I'll stop, and I can do that area in a little bit. So I'll go ahead and start putting a base coat on the Rhino so I can start working on him. Let me do the homework first, and then we'll do that. So if you're here to get your homework, hang on just a minute. Do use watercolor pencils. You can use pretty much anything. The trick is not getting pages so wet. It's not like this paint does not go through. It's not going through at all. Now I might have gone over the edge just a little here when I was doing here, but it doesn't go through. What pills and warps your paper is the water. It's not the paint. So this is just watered down acrylic craft paint. That's all this is. And that's usually what I use. And the reason I use craft paint, either in my collage or in like the color book, is because it's matte as opposed to acrylic, like artist grade acrylic paints. Now, I know they've come out with a new matte one, but most artist grade acrylic paints in the tubes have a sheen to them. And that sheen can resist color pencils. So you don't want to use any shiny paint. Now, you can put down some gold and silver and do a little, do some things like that. But your color pencils are not going to blend on top of metallic, satin, or gloss paint. But they will blend very nicely over craft paint, matte craft paint. Let's see, Mary, who else? Let me get a sip of my juice here. Karina. Okay, so I think I've got everything down here. I still have up here along the tree line, but we can get back to that. So I'm just looking to see if I missed. I mean, there's a couple little tiny places I can get in here with the pencil, but I think I got most of the big areas. And this right here, I want this darker too. That's under his body, under his belly. It's pretty dark under there. So I'll just kind of put a little black, make that a little blacker. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my brush in the the lab experiment, as Janet calls it. Make sure I clean my brush on with a wet baby wipe. And again, as you're doing, especially with a tiny brush, when you're using acrylic paint, keep a baby wipe so you can just clean it every now and then, because it'll start drying pretty quick in there. And then you'll just have a hard, crusty brush and you won't be able to do that. Let's see. Oh, did Faithful Mess come in? Hi, Faithful Mess. I'm going to show your Faithful Mess, and it's a bunch of new color books to do giveaways. I got 2 more of her. This is what we're going to give away today. We're going to give away, I got 2 of these left, the Flow Big Book of Less. And let me go ahead and show you what she sent while if she's here. I think somebody said hi, so I haven't seen her, but somebody said hi to her. Hi, Abigail. So let me just kind of move this up here for a minute. And I do have my pencils at the ready. So I got that. I got my Society of Idea Collector for your homework. So let me go ahead and show you the Happy Mail. I got Happy Mail from Faithful Mess, and I got Happy Mail from Anne. And she says, and she goes, I always call her Anne Leclerc because that's how it's spelled. But she says it's pronounced Leclerc, meaning lightning in French. So it's Anne Leclerc. So Anne sent me this pretty card and a nice note. So Anne, thank you for the pronunciation. She sent me, look at this, guys. Let me see if I can get this off. She sent me some scrubbies. She said these are scrubbies. I don't know how well this is going to take off paint, but or do you mean dishes? I don't do dishes. They go get rinsed off and put in the dishwasher right away. But I'm not sure what kind of scrubbies these are for. But yeah. So she anyway, she sent me some scrubbies. Now, if she means to get the paint off my hands, I'm going to give them a go. Okay, if she means that they're for dishes, yeah. Janice, I know Janet's laughing at me. So she sent me those scrubbies. So thank you, Anne. And then she sent me some prints of hers. So she has done a couple prints. So let me take them out of the plastic. So she sent me 2 of her prints, her collage prints. So good job, Anne. So yeah, isn't that awesome? So she's been working that collage. So good job, Anne. I don't know if she posted this on Instagram or not. I'll have to go look, but I don't remember seeing this one, but I could have missed it too. Hi, CNP, Cat and Paste. Anybody else? I love my dishwasher too, Darlene. Yeah, Tina. I mean, I rinse them off and they go in the dishwasher because we don't let dishes sit out. I mean, after Hubster and I are big on just, we get those dishes done between the two of us. We pick up after ourselves. We get it done. Get her done. Okay. So yeah. So everybody's saying, great work, Ann. So isn't that good? And there's a glare. Let me see if I can get let's see. Because I was in the white pages of the color book, which puts a different lighting on the situation. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. So yeah. So that's Anne sent these. Sent me 2 of them. So I guess maybe she wants me to give one away. I don't know. She sent me 2, but that was nice. Thank you, Anne. And then the scrubbies and my card. So I can put the card in the Fibs book. And then Faithful Mess sent, y'all ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. She sent 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. She sent 6 of the Rainforest Escape. And I think she sent this either this one or the other one that's like it before, and we gave all of those away. And they're the Jane Gideon, and they're like, let me just move this a minute because this still might be wet, and I don't want to get paint on it. I'm back here, little pencils that I have selected. So she sent 6 of these, and thank you as well. Faithful Mess sent stamps, and stamps. And she also sends these sleeves that I mail them in, and I send them out book rate. So these work really well for sending out the books. So thank you, Faithful Mess, for all the stamps to help pay for sending them all out. You're the sweetest girl. And so I'll show you this real quick. Well, I've shown them before, but and Anne Gedeon is Gedeon, Jade. I'm sorry, did I say Jan? Jade, Gedeon. She has I think there's 3, maybe 4 of these type of books, and they're like a watercolor paper, and they also have fold outs. So they have tons. Now, let me recommend something to you guys if you do use any, because it has a watercolor type paper to it. You want to use watercolor, because it's got that kind of textury paper, but it's perforated. These pages are perforated. So if you get that perforation wet, they're going to fall out real easy. I would recommend taping the backs. If you don't want, put some, glue some washi tape or some painter's tape or something on the back where the perforations are, because if you get that perforation wet, they're going to fall, the pages are going to fall out. So I'm just going to do a little flip here. And again, every few pages, there's a fold out. Here's another one. And so it's it's a fun book. Look at all the fish. And again, it's on like a watercolor type paper. So and I've had this book for a while. I haven't worked in it in some years. I'm not sure what year it came out, but she has a few different books, and she may even have newer ones since I've checked on any of her new books. But this one came out. Here's another fold out. So, but it's like a cream. It's on a cream color paper. It's like a cream color paper, and it's like a watercolor type paper. I can't call it. I don't want to call it watercolor paper like official watercolor. I don't know that it is, but it's the cottony feel. It's that cottony feel watercolor type paper. And this one came out in 2016. So Rainforest Escape. I don't know if it has a list of her other ones, or I don't know which ones were her first ones or what, let me see if it's in the back. Island Escape is the other one that I know of. Island Escape. So Island Escape and Rainforest Escape. So thank you so much, Faithful Mess, for sending us a stack of these. Let's see. Kathleen Fullman. Who else is popping in? Oh, thanks, Tina. There's if y'all want to go peruse it on Amazon. There we go. Thank you, Tina. Oh, let's see. Look at my hands coming out of the screen to smack you. Oh, yeah. No, I try to adjust the lighting. When I do that, it makes the lighting adjust when you do that. Oh, so Faithful Mess said, do not try to use pencils first on this book. The paper is very textured. Yes, it is. It's like it's like a watercolor paper feel. Yeah. So you probably like, and that's what I used. I used watercolor, or I used watered down acrylic paint. A wash of acrylic paint before you use pencil on it. So thanks so much, Faithful Mess. Thank you so much. I know everybody that gets them will enjoy them. Okay, let me see here. Let me get the homework out. Move this, and thanks for the postage too. That's really appreciated. Whoops! Don't knock the pencils over again, Dee Dee. I knocked them over a second time, and I also have another little note from Faithful Mess, so that'll go in the Fids book. I knocked my pencils over again last weekend, and I've resorted them. So let's see how they stay. All right, let's move my pencils and my paints that I picked out to use this morning. So, let's see. D. Ritchie. Anybody else that I missed? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give you all your homework now. All right. And this is the book I'm using to sort and keep track of the homework and stuff that I give you guys. It's not really, I do write some ideas down, but it's mostly the ideas that I'm writing down for you guys in this particular book. Cause I have, and I've shown them to y'all before, but I have all different kinds of books that I keep, and I just rearranged my shelf. I can't find the one I'm looking for. Oh, I kept it on the floor, I think. Did I keep it on the floor to show you guys? So I pulled things out to show you guys, then I put them away, and I go, well, where did I put it? So here we go. So I'll usually fill up sketchbooks like this with ideas, and then what I'll do is any kind of ideas that I want to transfer from here, I'll put them in a 3-ring binder. So I have multiple books that I'm putting ideas in all the time. I use tons of Post-it notes, as you can see. And then if I develop something in particular that I want to work on, collage ideas or whatever kind of ideas I want to do, then I can put them in under tabs. Okay, so let me go over here to where your next homework is. So the last thing I had you do, let me get my weeks here. I have them broke out by weeks. All right, so week 5 was you were supposed to make some food lists of foods. And again, you could break those lists out by desserts, entrees, fruits, vegetables. You could divide your list out into multiple different types of food, right? So you could do, natural, you could do, you just can just divide it out in multiple ways to have lists of food. And then I had you pick a picture of a food. You could draw. A few people painted a one or drew it. Or, again, when I tell y'all to do your homework that I give you, you can do it in a zine. You can do it in a cartoon. You can Zentangle it. You can paint it. You can sketch it. You can draw it. You can collage it. You can do anything you want, whatever medium you feel. But, try some different ones just to get get a feel for it. So if I say find a picture of food and glue it, it's just because I'd want you to try some, getting some ideas off of a photo. But you can draw, you can do anything you want. It's all about collecting your ideas. So don't beat yourself up and go, oh my God, I didn't do what Dee homework. Don't do that. Collect it how you will use it. Because if you're not going to use it, Cheryl grabbing my pen, if you're not going to use it, it's not going to, eventually at some point, it's not going to do any good just to write down something I like. Like you may absolutely hate collage. Well, then, don't be making a bunch of collage notes if you know you're just not going to want to do it and it's going to stress you out, but write the ideas down. You can always write things out. Write the ideas down and then change it to suit you, to suit what comes to your mind. You don't have to write down what comes to my mind. I could give you tons of lists. I could read off my list of food to you, but that's not going to help you think and come up with your ideas, right? So write it down and change anything that you want, or write down some ideas I have, someone else has, and but the idea is to write it down. That is the whole trick to always having creativity, inspiration, ideas. It's all about writing it down. And I ask people, someone will say, I don't have any ideas. I can't think of anything. I don't know what to do. I'm bored. I can't think of anything. I have artist block. Well, have you pulled out your society? Have you pulled out it doesn't have to be society of idea collectors. Have you pulled out your idea book or your sketchbook? Oh, I don't keep one. Well, sorry. Can't help you. You should be writing down those ideas. Okay. So, was to get a picture of some food and mind map it. This was last week. And I'm doing very simple, at least at this point, very simple mind mapping ideas because I want to keep it simple. You can research mind. There are books on how to get into mind mapping into infinite detail. I mean, you can do that. But I'm trying to keep it simple because just for the collecting of the ideas. So you were to mind map out your food last week, and also the other part was to take one stamp. I used one of my hand carved. This was an owl stamp, and I don't have it right here in front of me, but I stamped out a whole page in different configurations, just using one stamp, making a pattern, and I left a space for one word or one phrase or one question or one remark, whatever you wanted. So mine, I put in wisdom in brush lettering. But the idea was to use one stamp. It did not have to be hand carved. Mary and I hand carve, but it could just be one stamp. So that was week 5. Okay. And also, I have notes in here to tell you to tab. Let me put my thing here. I got to get this thing here. To keep tabs, put tabs on your different topics, your different lists, because then you can flip to it easy. And remember, let's go back to like week 1 when I talked about, making the list. and we started with 5 lists. I think it was well, I won't get into the exact ones we did, but we had like 5 different lists. And the idea for having multiple lists is you can either number them or just randomly put your finger on different items in those different lists and recombine them to make a new something. You could end up with Paris, with a giraffe riding a bicycle. I mean, because when you just randomly pick things like that, it gets you outside of what you normally would think. You normally just aren't going to come up with the first thing in your mind and come up with the ideas to have a giraffe riding a bicycle in Paris. You know what I mean? So by having multiple lists to choose from, you're going to come up with random things. And don't forget your colors. Don't forget to make your list of color names. So in other words, don't just have a list of red, yellow, blue, green, purple, have lime green, grape, sunshine yellow. And we talked about how to gather those names. And even somebody suggested getting out your box of Crayolas, and you can get color names from there. But first, try to come up with your own. Anytime I give you a list, like, the list of food, try to make the list first. Just out of your own head, try to think of a list of all the foods you can think of yourself without looking it up, because you can Google all these things. You can Google a list of food, and you're going to come up with every food that's ever been made. But that's not really helping you think, right? So try to make the list, at least at first, just sitting down and thinking about it and trying to write out as many as you can. Mary, a couple weeks ago, when one of the homework were opposites, she sat here in chat, and she didn't post them all. She posted a couple. But while she was working here, she came up with 100 opposites. So, just try to do it yourself first. And then once you do your homework and anything that, whether it's a mind map, a sketch, a drawing, a doodle, a collage, whatever it is, post it on Instagram under hashtag Society of Idea Collectors, all one word. And then everybody can go see your work. All right, what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to do this. So hang on. Okay. So let me just get a random one here. So and y'all know I get a lot of fabrics and trims from Amour Fabrique, and I just pulled one just for my sample today. But it doesn't have to be this fancy; it can be anything. So today's homework first. Well, I'll tell you the list in a minute. Your main homework is going to be to take a piece of fabric, any fabric. It can have jewels on it. It could be a piece of denim. It could be a piece of brown linen. It could be a piece of cotton. It can be a piece of silk. It can be sari silk. It could be anything you want. But find a piece of fabric that you like. Just a piece of fabric you like. Mary, are you asking about Amour Fabrique? I just saw you say, who was that? I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe somebody could put in the link. She has an Etsy shop, and this is where I buy all my fabric swatches, where I make the prayer pouches out of. So I just grabbed this one just to show you for an example. Okay, so you take your piece of fabric, whatever kind it is, okay? Whatever kind it is. And what I want you to do, write this down. And this should be your one of your staples, especially if you're mind mapping or, well, really on anything, is to ask the questions. Who, what, where, why, when, how. To ask all the questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay. And Mary always throws in, why not? You can do, but ask the questions. So what I want you to do is put your fabric in the middle of your page. Let me where's my book I just had? let me get my newest one here. So this is my newest one. So what I want you to do is put it in the middle. Let's go ahead and I'll do you a little start here. Here's where we did the food sample. Now, the other thing is when I do a sample for you, I do it big. Okay. I write big with a Sharpie. When you're doing it, I'm going to show you, write it like small, like, let's say you have a topic here. Do it right small, little, tiny. You want to do as little like this because then you can get more on the page. If you write really large like this, you're not going to get a lot on a page. This is my sample for you guys. But when you do something like this, write it small so you can get a lot on the page. All right? Rachel. Okay, so what you want to do now, I really shouldn't pick this because it's going to be too bulky. Let me get something a little flatter. That was the first thing I grabbed. That was just the first thing I grabbed, and I don't want my sketchbook to be bulky. So let me just get something a little flatter here. Okay, this one's good. Okay, all right. It can be a trim. It can be whatever. Just something fabric. Okay, something fabric. Now, what you're going to do a couple of different things. So hang on. Let me get some double-sided tape. Well, I know I have some double-sided tape open somewhere. All right. Well, let me open up another new one here. Let me get my double-sided tape open. All right. So take you a piece of fabric and just put it in. It can be in your sketchbook, in your Society of Idea, or just on a piece of paper to start. Okay. It can be wherever you want. It's up to you. So what I want you to do is now, let me get my marker because I want to do it big. So what you're going to do is, hang on, let me write it for you. Oh, let's put the question. Well, let's put the question marks. Okay. All right. Who, what, where, when, why, how. I think I got them all. Okay. All right. So what did Becky say? Mary, we could compare lists. Yeah, y'all can do whatever you want to keep your creativity. Okay. All right. So take your fabric, piece of fabric. Now, what I want you to do is with the questions is kind of like, and you don't have to do a full-on novel or anything like that. I want you just to sit calmly and quietly and kind of make up a story about this fabric in your head. Who did it belong to? All right, I'll tell y'all a few, but you really try to think up yourself, okay? Who did or does it belong to? I'm just going to give y'all a few. You can think up tons more questions than what I'm going to give you, okay? Who gave it to me? Did someone give it to me? Because how do you have it, you know? Okay. What is it made of? And I always like to put little little dots. What is it made of or from? And that's the other thing that you're going to do. I'll continue this, but your part 2, let me go ahead and give y'all this. Write it down. Write it down. Your other part is you're going to make some more lists. Okay, so I know y'all have tons of lists like the food, right? Well, now this time I want you to make lists of, and I have it written down for your homework. I want you to make lists of different types of fabric. Try to think of as many as you're on your own before you start going to look them up, like silk, cotton, denim. Write down, make a list of fabric types, types of fabrics, okay? That will correspond to this. So do that. And if you really want to get ambitious, write the write the country or the eras that they're from. If you want to make other lists, to write about the fabric. So let's say you made a list of silk. Okay. On your list, you have the word silk. Well, from silk, you can go, is it from China? What kind of silks do they have in India? How did you could do the whole Silk Road if you want to, but the idea is to keep you thinking about the different things, right? So make you a list of the types of fabrics and as much information if you want to mind map each fabric out or however you want to do it. And like when was it invented? When did it come into being? How did it travel? I mean, you can just take it to as much as you want. Now, don't feel like you have to do all that. The main thing is this one right here. Okay, this is what I want you to do. The other list that I want you to just do, because eventually I'm going to give you homework on this, I want you to make a list of songs. Now you don't have to write out all the lyrics unless you want to, but write out the name of the song and who did it if you know who sang it, who wrote it, whatever. So a list of songs and start. Now this is an ever-going, ongoing, never-ending list of books. Start writing down list of books. Again, you can break that out. Fiction, nonfiction. You can break it out. Just look at the library. What is that called? How the library breaks things. There's a word for it. How the library breaks down their, or I don't know if bookstores really do it, but libraries have it broke down. There's a system that the library breaks their topics down. You could, do it by that. But what I want you to do is start writing down books and authors, okay, the book and the author, and a song and the writer of the song. So start those lists. Is it the Dewey Decimal? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Dewey. Okay, Jan, everybody's saying Dewey Decimal. Okay, so write down. I'm giving you that as an idea because then you can break it out easy. Fiction, biography, nonfiction. I don't know if science is actually one, but So the Library of Congress, yeah, that's how they break it down, the Dewey Decimal System. So anyway, start writing down books and authors. You can go to your own books, or think of books that you've read and start a list of books and the authors and songs and their writers. Okay. And that's like an ongoing thing. I'm not checking your homework to make sure you got every book down that I ever heard of. That's not how this works. Okay. So let's get back to our piece of fabric. What is it made of? Where did it come from? Now, I don't want you to just write down the facts. Like this may have come from India. Okay, I don't want you to just go India. Where did it come from? India. I want you to try to make a story out of this. Okay. I want you to try to think of, who was the person, was this an India, a princess in India, make up a story, make up your own story. Now, whether you write your whole story on here, no, you're not going to get it all on here. This is just your fact gathering, right? When was it made? These are just your basic first questions, right? When was it made? Why was it made? Like, was it made for a princess? Was it made for a bride? Was it made for an ordinary everyday person? And then how was it made? Okay, so these are just your first questions. How, why, when, why. And then, but you can expand more on that. But I want to give you the idea, right? Give you the idea. So you ask these questions. And Mary jumped ahead. She didn't know I was going to do this week. But last week, she started asking all the questions on her homework from last week when she was mind mapping. Because she's already done this. We did this years ago, right? We've done this years ago. And we're just kind of readdressing these things because We've done a lot of Society of Idea collecting throughout the years. So anyway, so Mary did not know that I was going to do this week, but anyway, so that's what you're going to do with a with a piece of fabric. Just start with this, and then here's the thing, guys. Once you see how you can do this, and you will see that you can do it. Once you see that you can do this with a piece of fabric, then you're going to think. And I like I said, I'm writing a story. Well, it's just for me, really. I don't have any plan to do anything really with it, but a story about a time traveler and flea market finds. Okay, so but you could do this same kind of questioning thing with a flea market find. You could find something really unusual. I'm looking around; it's all art supplies in here. I'm trying to find something that's kind of like a little off the wall. Something odd, something, I don't know. I don't really have, it's all art supplies in here. Okay, I got something. This is just something I picked up I think I got it at Hobby Lobby a while back. But imagine I got this at a flea market. Okay, just imagine I got it. Okay, look at these goggles. Look at these goggles. Okay, so just imagine you pick these up at a flea market. Then ask yourself all these same questions. Who, what, where, why, when? Did I miss one? How? I think I got them all. So anyway, so it doesn't just have to, the lab experiment. It doesn't have to just be, I'm just using the fabric to help you think about fabrics, think about textiles, think about who invented them, where they come from, what country, what era. And, you could make your list. You could go ahead and make a list. Here, let me go ahead and write these down for you for the homework that goes with this. So songs and the writers, books, break out lists by subjects with the authors. Okay. And then the types of fabric. And the reason I want you to continuously do the list that I suggest is because then someday I might go, okay, go to your list of books. And if you don't have a list of books, you're going to have to make one before you could do that homework, right? And my Wolfie hat, yeah, that's hanging downstairs. Pacola. Types of fabrics, textiles, and origins and eras of when, and you could just make a whole, this could be its own without even anything to do with having to do with fabrics, but just you can do an eras, the Renaissance, just different eras, right? Make a list of that, because someday I might tell you to pick from your era. Pick an era, a time period. I'll make it a little clearer. Okay, time periods. So make these, this is homework lists week. We're into week 6. Okay, and this is week 6. Questions on a fabric. Okay, there we go. So this is week 6. All right, so let me look at what anybody's saying. And you could also do, if you want to do eras and origins, you could also go ahead and make you a list of countries. Now, again, guys, don't overwhelm yourself. You don't have to do all this by Monday. Oh my gosh, I got to do all this by Monday. Just have it handy. Have it handy. You're sitting there watching TV, you're watching the Travel Channel. Hey, I think I'm going to go ahead and make a list of countries while I'm watching the Travel Channel. that kind of thing. Don't be stressing about it. Just do what you can. And I know people go, well, I don't have, I got to do so and so this week. I can't. Well, that's okay. Just write this down, and at your convenience, at your leisure, do these things. You don't have to post things in the homework. You don't have to post it to be participating with us. Okay. And I capitalize it just so you can see. You can cap it or not. Idea collectors. But as long as you have the whole thing, Society of Idea Collectors, all one word, whether you have caps or not, it doesn't matter. You can have them all lowercase. But oh my gosh, Rachel. I already called your therapist. I'm trying to give you enough to keep you interested and not get bored, but you do as much as you can. Everybody's laughing at Rachel now. As much as you can or want to, right? As much as you can or you want to. So, and I scratch them off as I go here. So now I'm going to scratch off this week because I've given you the homework. Countries, eras, songs, books, fabrics. Okay, add to list. All right. And again, guys, if anytime you think of a list, time you think of a list that we haven't got to yet, because we're probably never going to get to every kind of thing you can make a list of, but make your own. Make your own. What is Janice? I don't think so, Dan, because we've seen Denise come and clear out Denise's room. I don't know what Dan was saying to get rid of something, but there's Janet's remark on something Dan said. Like this with their kids. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. No, Denise. Yeah, Denise. That's why I'm down to just a few of these, and somebody sent me 5 or 6 because I think Denise snuck in here and threw I literally had, I don't know how many stacks of my coffee lids, and then here a few weeks ago I went to couldn't find any. I had 1 or 2. So yeah, and now I quit drinking this coffee, so I don't have this kind of coffee lids anymore. So. Anyway, so start with a piece of fabric, ask the questions who, what, where, when, why, and how, and start just making up, and again, guys, it doesn't have to be a full-on story, a novel. It's about making your mind work. It's about making your thinking process go, for ideas and inspiration, your creativity to come to you. Because while you're doing this, like while you're writing, say, who made this? You might, like I just use an example of a princess in India. Well, that may get you off on a total different topic than anything we've even talked about. Write it down. Don't be just dependent on the things I tell you. Wherever your rabbit trail goes, follow your own. Should I write that down? Follow your own rabbit trail. Because, we do that here. We follow a lot of rabbit trails. Follow your own rabbit trail. And again, I'm writing this in a big black Sharpie so you can see it on camera. But normally I don't write like that. I write very tiny when I'm writing, so yeah. All right. So, all right. Yeah. If anybody here, take a screenshot of this. If anybody wants to take a screenshot so that, let me see. I can even probably zoom in one. Hang on. There we go. All right, there you go. So this is week 6. Take a screenshot. Good idea, Cheryl. Okay. So that's week 6. Okay, and week 7, last week we did any food. Just we start this out, but again, like Mary took it to the who, what, where. She started asking the questions, which I hadn't started getting that again. since some years ago when we were doing this. But she started asking the questions on her homework. Okay, so there is your homework. Let me make sure I don't want to forget to pull out the book we're going to give away in a little while. Let me put up my goggles up here. All right. So and I do want to make sure we try to remember to read from our 1001 Ways to Be Creative book. We read a couple pages every week. We are now up to number 555. So we're about halfway through the book, and we've been at it, just a couple pages a week. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get back to our color book page. Let me move my binder back to the side here. And let's go back to our Black Rhino. Again, I read the information. Let me read it again. And let me just go ahead and highlight it. Okay, the black rhinoceros lives in southern and eastern Africa. They are generally solitary and feed at night or during dawn and dusk, when they can escape the African sun. They mostly eat from leaves and bushes, unlike their counterpart, the white rhinoceros, which grazes on grasses. Today, these magnificent creatures are on the brink of extinction due to poaching. Their horns are desired by many for traditional medicine and ornamental dagger handles. So, and all of Kerby's animals in this book are in the fragile world are endangered. I think I'll go ahead and flip through the book just so y'all can see it. And and there's a little write-up in the back about each one, right? There's a little write-up in the back about each animal. So you can, but I'll just go ahead and flip real quick. This is one we did a few weeks ago, and it is posted on Instagram. Bye, Kalura Becky. Have a good day. Of course, I love me some lemurs. I have a whole story and, going and again, I'm not a writer, guys, but I like to use stories to do little, collages or drawings or in my own sketchbook. I have my samurai Viking lemurs. I've shown my little drawings over the years, but I have samurai Viking lemurs. So anyway, but I love drawing animals. And it's been a while since we pulled out the art scroll to draw on, and paint on. So, but this is an awesome book. It's an awesome book. Here's the pandas that we did. And again, it wants to flash out when we get to the color. There we go. Let's tilt it just a little, get the shine off there. Let me put something back here to prop it up just a touch, just to take the glare off. There we go. So here's the one we're working on now. Let's just do this. And then here's the axolotls that have it just has the wash, just the watered down craft paint. And that's as far as we got that day in the 2 or 3 hours that we worked on this. So now I need to go back in here and start. What color is that? It's just red. I need to go back in here now and start doing the shading. But I just felt like I wanted to go on to that rhino today. But this whole page now that it's got a wash on it, right? Let me turn down the lighting. It's kind of got a bright. Here, let's turn it down. Just a tad. There we go. So now I've got to go in here and do all the shading with the color pencil, right? And because this is a matte craft paint, the color pencil just works excellent. It just works excellent on top of it to start shading and blending, because you've got a wash to start with. So you're not starting with just a blank page and having to color pencil the whole page. You've got something to start working on top of. Okay. So again, I need to get back to this page. Okay, so just so y'all can get an idea of everything that's in the book. I almost picked this one today. I almost picked that one. I said I'm not going to get that big double page spread done today. So, oops. And then again in the back, he has all the animals listed. Okay, so the other one that we've worked in recently is the World Within Worlds. And so I haven't finished this one because it's a good one to leave as an example, because this is what it looks like when you do the wash, like you just saw in the axolotl. I think I'm saying that right. You just do a wash of watered down acrylic paint. Okay, watered down acrylic paint. Then here's when I've gone back in with pencil, Posca, and blending and shading. So it goes from this to this with just different colors, obviously. Purple wash here. So it just looks very flat and pale at first, like the axolotls, but this is where we're heading, right? This is where we head to. So, and then I've done different samples in here, showing that you can just, if you have a whole bunch of little critters like this and you want, you can base coat them and not worry about the background. If you're going to paint the background, then you don't have to worry about going out of lines. You can just get a nice wash of color, and then you're going to paint over and around that. So you don't have to worry about painting those little tentacles on the octopus and stuff like that. So, and then here's another one. Again, start with a wash of color and then gone in here and shaded. And then every one of these scales has been shaded around one by one. But it starts with the base. It's just so easy to start with the base, right? This one, all the little huts are not done. And then you can see where I'm going in. All these, I want to put all these little kind of bubble looking things on the octopus. They're not, it's got little, it looks kind of like scales on the octopus, but I'm doing them all in white. So I've got to do all those still. So this is, this one's not done, but you can see where it's headed. And yeah, so I haven't worked a whole lot in this one yet either, but I love both of them. I love my Kerby books. So this is one we did as a demo. I think this one we did watercolor pencils. Might have been ink tints and watercolor pencils, but we used different watercolor pencils, I think, on this. And of course, the background is black acrylic paint, and then we just go in with some more details, doing stars and nebulas and, paint and color pencil. But it's because this is black acrylic paint that you're able to do pencil on there. Do I have my sample? I know I always say I got to keep that sample, and then I never do. Let's see. I think it might be in here. Let's see. I try to remember to keep it, and then somehow it always ends up disappearing. Somehow it always disappears, my little sample. But I'm going to do it again because it's important. You did it. No. Okay, so let me just get a piece of white paper. All right, so here's the coolness. Here's the coolness about using paint. Okay, so I'm going to just get some black paint here. Okay, I'm just going to put some black paint down. Okay, let's get my baby wipe here. Clean my hand off. All right, now I'm going to get black pencil. I thought I had one out. Okay, so now I've got a black pencil and I'm going to get a nice dark black. So let's just imagine you want a black background, right? And you have your black, you can either use acrylic paint or you go in here and you want a nice solid black with your color pencil. Now let me dry that because it has to be dry before you do any penciling over paint. I think that's dry. All right, so now, what brand of pencil? I'm using Prismacolors, Kathleen. Prismacolor Premier, Prismacolor Premier. Okay, so now this is black solid pencil. I'm going to take a white pencil and try to do something over the top. And I'm going to put hard pressure. I'm going to just do real hard. Whoops, not that hard. Right? Okay, so look, it's smearing the black, but you really can't see much white on there, can you? And that was with hard pressure. Now I'm going to take the same white, and also know this, when anytime you use a light color or a white color, see how I picked up black right there? You always, I have a side table over here that's covered with black paper, so I can come over here and just kind of clean the pencil off, or you can resharpen it. Just sharpen it so that the tip is clean. Otherwise, what happens is let's just say you use your white pencil on here, and then you go to do it on you want your white pencil on, somebody's gray hair, a white cat, some, whatever. And you got that black on there, and you go over here and you start coloring. You're going to make a black mark, or a dark color. You're going to make a mark if you don't clean the tip off of your pencil. Okay, so here I went a white pencil over the top of black pencil. Now watch the same thing. Look at that. That's over black acrylic paint. And I can just do it very lightly. I can do shooting stars. I can do, the nebulas with the other colors here. But it's because that this is black paint. If this was all painted with black pencil, I could not do this, okay? You cannot do this like that over solid black pencil. It just won't do it. Well, if you have Prisma, I think that they're almost all called Premier nowadays, Darlene. If you bought, unless you got, I don't know they're all Premier now. Unless you got some old ones that, are barrel or, yeah, they're pretty much all Premier. That's just what they changed the name of it to, but some years ago. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because this just matters. Okay. Well, let me show you. Okay, so it depends. Most of the time, the white pencil will go over something that's not, wax. This is waxy, right? So you wax on wax. You can blend things, but you're not going to cover it. Okay, so this Sharpie's almost out. Let me find a fresh Sharpie. Hang on. Because I do the same thing. I do the same thing with watercolor. Watercolor, you can go over it. But let's see. Let me grab a Sharpie. Let me get a fat Sharpie. Or I know I got another one up here somewhere. I just got to find it. Here we go. Let's see. Nope. Hang on. Janet's going to go, you can't find a fat Sharpie? Oh, I got him here somewhere. Hang on. All right. Let's see if these work. But let me tell you this: if since we're talking about color books, this will go through, and that's not going through this cardstock, but a Sharpie will go through a paper. Sharpies are alcohol-based markers. So let's go back here to a test page. So if you want to do a solid background, look, it's coming through. Not a lot, but you can see. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to use a Sharpie on a double side page because it'll go through. Okay. Yeah, I do too somewhere, Janet. So don't do this with a Sharpie, regardless if it works, unless you don't care if it goes through to the back. All right, now where'd my white pencil go? Here we go. Okay. Okay. So it's not quite as bright. Can you tell the difference there? That's with hard pressure. It's not quite as bright as on the paint. Can you see the difference? Okay. So there you go. There's your test. But don't use a Sharpie on a double-sided book, just like you can't use a Copic. You can't use your Copics or your alcohol markers in a color book unless it's a single side. If it's single side, you don't care if it goes through. Just make sure you put some cardstock or something behind it so that when it goes through, it doesn't go through to this page, right? You don't want it to go through. So don't use alcohol-based markers. Now, that being said, a Sharpie pen, let me get a Sharpie pen here. I know I got one sitting here somewhere, Janet. The Sharpie pens, let me get one here. Well, that's not a black one, but they look the same. They look like this. Sharpie pens don't usually go I've never had them go through. I've never had a Sharpie pen, these go through. But Sharpie, unless it says pen, then it's a Sharpie marker and it'll go through. All right, let me get a fresh baby wipe. All right. Where were we? Hi, Almaris. Anybody else I'm missing? Okay, so let me keep flipping through this. Let's see. Christine. Who else am I missing? I said hi. Well, yeah, talk to Darlene. Anybody else I missed? Good morning. Oh, I've seen a couple people do this one. I really love this. I want to do this astronaut one of these days. So I'm just flipping real quick through the one that we're not actually coloring in today. But just so you can see the two recent Kerby books. Devin. Hi, Devin. So here's another one that I finished. I think this might have been the second one I did in this book. But anyway, again, acrylic paint washes, and then Posca. And that's the other thing. A white Posca, let me find one here. A white Posca is great for highlights, but Sharpie pen does. Instead of a doodle. Yeah, see, I don't varnish none of that stuff. I don't varnish any color book pages. So yeah, I don't know what you were working on, Arlene, but that's good to know. Arlene said Sharpie. Let me click on it so y'all can read it. There we go. So you always want to test everything, guys, especially if you're going to do a big project. You got a big double page spread, a big collage. I got a collage poster, or whatever. You want to test those things. You don't want to mess up like what Arlene just talked about here. Okay, so what you can do with a Posca that I love is, and you can probably see those little dots up there? They're kind of like a lime green. I might have missed a couple. But you can take your Sharpie and you can get some nice little highlights. Once you see it on here, you're going to see how much brighter it is. So let me do a few little extra leaves here. So you can take and do some white Posca. Oh, thank you, Elmaris, for the super sticker. Let me write you down. See how bright that white is? And it's not that bright over here. So let me show you how to do that. Let me write down Elmaris first. Thank you, Elmaris, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Write you on the list for the next outgoing print. Thank you so much. So if y'all don't know, if you super sticker, super chat, or PayPal tip jar me, the following first week of the following month, I send out a print to everyone that does. So thank you, Elmaris. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Pacola. Yeah, I have Elmaris, but yeah, you do need to make sure I have your address, guys. Either leave it in the PayPal tip jar section. There's a place for comments, or email me your address so I can send that out to you. Okay, so I'd use the white Posca here to make these little dots, and you can see where I did them over here. I didn't do a lot, just a few. I added more here so you could see. Now you have to make sure it's dry. So let me go ahead and hit this with the heat gun. You have to make sure it's 100% dry, but then I can go back over this with more watered down acrylic paint or a pencil. So let me get a light green here. So then I can take the pencil and go over that, and it will still be bright, but it won't be white. It'll just be brighter than just doing it with just a lime green. Can you see how you can still see those white dots, but because I've gone over it with the pencil, it knocks it back, but you can still see them. So that's a great way to get nice bright highlights that you just can't get normally with just pencil. Okay. All right. So let's see. Kathy McDonald. Anybody else I'm missing? Thanks everybody for being here. Okay. So this one is, you can kind of see some of the details there. Again, this was a acrylic paint background, and then I painted the clouds in with white paint. Okay, white paint. All right, so let me move this one, Worlds Within Worlds, and go back to working in our Fragile World book. Let's straighten out our brick wall there. So we're working in the with the black rhinoceros. All right, so what I want to do, and I did look up a color. What I do? Oh, I took my phone in the other room. Hang on, let me go get my phone again now that my family quit texting each other. So I looked up a black rhino, and this is a good way, especially if you're doing like realistic type animals. And I saved a picture to show you guys. So what I did is just saved a picture of it, and really look as close as you can at colors. Okay, so here's the picture that I found, and it may not show up here, but look at all the color. If you really look at this, look, well, you may not show up on camera, but there is, not only is there black and white, see those highlights there? There's not only black and white, but look at the blue. Look at the purple. Here, I pulled some colors. So you can see there's a grayish blue. There is this one is periwinkle. Can y'all see that? Look how it's just blended right in. You can't even see the tip. There's periwinkle blue in there. There's a lavender color. Well, this one is, what color is this? Violet. Is it violet? Just so you can see. See all the colors in there? And then lighter shades of violet and lighter shades of blue. So even though it's called a black rhino, and they're probably, if you saw them, at a distance, it's just going to look gray, right? It's just going to be gray. But if you look at them really close, you're going to see a lot of other colors in there. So this is the colors we're going to color him. Okay. We're going to color him these colors. So, but I'm going to start by a wash of a slate blue. I'm going to just put down a little bit. Now, when you do your washes, as opposed to a background. Now, I haven't done the background up here, the black area up here yet, because it was taking a lot of time. When you do a wash over everything, let me go back to my unfinished axolotls. You see how you can still see all the line art? See how you can still see the line art, even though I've got purple, lavender, different colors of a wash. Just, that's all that's on here is just a watered down acrylic paint. But you have to water it down enough that you don't lose the line art. Because if you just get straight paint right out of the jar and you start painting, you're going to paint over all the details, right? You have to water it down. Now, if it's the background, there's no water added to that, because I just wanted a solid black background. But all right, so now I poured out a little tiny bit. Let me get a little bit bigger brush. I poured out a little bit of what do you call it? Slate blue. I think it's slate blue. Colonial blue. It's a gray blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to water it down. So I'm going to spray some water here and just get it real watery, right? You can always add more. So get it nice and wet to start with. Now, a couple things on the water issue. It's never your paint that is going through. It's always the water. Oh, the other thing I'm going to also do is these trees, and I'm going to need a smaller brush for that. The trees that are growing off of him, I'm going to do those the same. Instead of brown branches, they're going to be blue-gray branches. So I need a little smaller. I missed a little speck of black right there. So, and right in there too, I have some background black. So I'm going to just do the trees and the rhino. Let me just go and use this. So what you got to do is, if you want it darker, let me just zoom in. Let's zoom in. Hang on, guys. If you want it darker, then you can add another layer, but you don't want to get too much water, whether using watercolor, Neocolor 2s, watered down acrylic paint, because it's the water that's going to pill and break down your paper. It's not the paint, it's the water. But you have to have the paint thin enough. So that when you go over the line art, that you're not covering up, you're not losing the line art. See, I'm just putting a wash of the gray, because then what I'll do after I have the wash on here is I'll go back with my pencils and do the highlight and shading. All right, so all that being said, does anybody have any questions so far on anything else? It's hard to see. But because I'm doing, it's a light gray, right? So if y'all have any questions, go ahead and ask while I finish doing a wash over the rhino and the trees. Because Kerby has them growing out of the rhino, and he has little animals in the trees, like there's a little leopard right there, and so I'm going to do the tree trunks the same color as the rhino. Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing any questions. Yeah, the thing about using a black Posca or anything else, it can be obvious difference. You can sometimes see the difference, like if you get real tight. And I'm not saying, I don't know what project you're worked on it, Devin, but if you have to make sure that when you do let's just say I went in here with a black Posca in some of these little areas, it's probably not going to be noticeable when they're not right up against each other. But if you try to do a black Posca right up next to the black acrylic paint, you might be able to see the difference. So let me get some more water in there. And a lot of it does depend on the paper. See, I got that a little dark there, so let me kind of tap that off, because I can't see the line art. So you got to have it watered down. You have to have it watered down enough so that you can see the line art. Because you can always add more darker with your pencils. But because you have this base coat of watered down acrylic paint, it gives it a tooth. It gives it a tooth for your pencils that you can't get with just an underpainting of pencil. You know, if I just did this whole Rhino with just pencil, you can't get those same cool effects. Oh yes, you let this dry for sure. Oh, definitely let this dry. You have to let it dry. If you just started going in here with pencil on top of this wet acrylic paint, you're just going to rip the paper right up. You have to have it dry. Yeah, dry it, dry it, dry it. I'd use a heat gun, but you know, if you don't have one, you're going to have to let it sit. All right, so let's see. Might have got a little bit more up here. Some of these branches are real tiny that I'll probably just get in there with pencil. Trying to get as many as I can. All right, so let's see if you can see, how if you can tell. And it can buckle just a little, but the thing is if you dry, especially with the heat gun, and dry it front and back, and by the time you work on the back page, you won't be able to tell. Unless you just went really crazy with the water. If you go real crazy with the water, it's going to buckle. And then I'll dry the back just to keep it flat as possible. Hi, Tommy Joe. Anybody else on this? Okay. So, and I can feel just a little bit of buckling. But again, by the time I add my pencil to it, and by the time I do the back page, you won't be able to tell. At least I don't ever, maybe once or twice I got way too much water. But for the most part, I'm real careful on not over wetting it. So if I wanted more water on this, or more paint, more, darker, then I dry it and then add some more. And that goes with watercolor, any kind of thing, any water. Dry it and then go back in there. Okay. Rather than just trying to keep layering and layering and layering with more. If I wanted to do this whole thing in paint, I can start going in here and darkening and using paint to shade if I wanted to do that. But you want to make sure it's dry in between. So let me just go ahead and I'll just do a little of that to show you. I'm really going to do it all with pencil, but just so you can see that you can actually paint your whole picture if you wanted to. You're going to have a little bit of painting skills to do that, but you can do it. But you want to dry in between. So I'll just do a little here so you can see. Get a little down in here. So all I'm doing is adding another layer of the blue just to get more shading in there. Do some on the tree as well. Instead of just going straight in there with pencil, which is what I would normally do, but just to show you, you can go in here and add another layer with paint and start shading and blending and doing everything with paint too. Okay. Okay, sloths meditate, lemurs levitate. Sloths and lemurs levitate. We open different dimensions. I like that, faithfulness. I'm going to write that down. Hang on, I'm writing that down. Faithfulness. I like that. in our community. Sloths meditate. Lemurs levitate. And we open and close doors to different dimensions every week. I like that, Faithful Mess. Yeah, I'm a big portal girl. Lots of dimensions. Oh, I like that. I wrote it down. So I'll put that in the wingnut book. Okay, so now let's make sure that's dry. All right, let me clean my brush here. I'll clean it in the water and clean it off with my baby wipes. All right. All right, so now, let's see. Get my picture back again, show y'all. All right. So now we have the gray kind of base, like this background color. It's kind of a blue-gray base, and it may look different to you than it does to me. All right, so now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my black and my white, and I'm going to sharpen. Little sharpener here. And I don't have any fancy sharpeners. I do have a couple of the brass bullet ones, but I'm not picky. This is just a cheap plastic one. You know, look, give me nice sharp points. So you have made it when you get in the way, Arlene. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black, and I am going to try to find like for instance, in his eyes. Oh, let me go ahead and let's see. Let's zoom in some more. Let's get nice and close on him. It's going to pixelate some. You won't have the clarity, but I think you'll be able to tell a little bit better. So, for instance, his eyes. I want a nice black pupil, and I could put that in with the Sharpie pen as well, depending on how tiny it is. His nostril is very black. Well, I don't know if that's his nostril. Is that his nostril? Is that, yeah, maybe, yeah, I guess that is his nostril. Okay. It's got some wrinkles under there. It kind of could be nostrilitis. And then where his lip is very black. But right under the nostril, it's very, oops, I pushed too hard. It's very highlighted. I could probably even do that with the Posca. Right under the nostril, it's got a nice highlight right under the nostril. Let's see if you can see. Look, see that highlight? Same thing for he's got a highlight in his eye, and he's going to have light under the eye. So I'm just going to go back and forth with some black and the darkest dark and the lightest light for a minute. Okay, so Posca. All right, so let's see. I only see the one nostril, but I see some other areas of not too much black anywhere else. It's mostly just there and in the deep, like where the branch here connects to his face. There's some dark, and then he's got the horn right up here. And then right inside his ears is very black. Fading out into some darker blue. But that's where the darkest black is. And then up here where the tree branch meets, I'm going to put that darker. A little bit more on the horn there. I want a distinction from that. So I'm starting to find some of the darkest darks and the lightest lights. That poor Rhino didn't get a chance to wipe his Oh my gosh, Rachel, you're so funny. But let me give you an example. Like for right up here, see where I forgot these little spots right here? Well, if I'm not going to add anything on top of it, I know that's just going to be background. I'm not going to add anything. I'll go ahead and do that with a solid black pencil just to fill in those areas I missed. But now no white pencil is going to work on top of this where I'm doing the black pencil. Not like it's going to work with a white, with the acrylic paint. Now I could go in there with Posca on top of that, but you're not going to be able to do it with pencil. So there's just a couple little areas where I missed with the paint and also up here. Up here, this has all got to be painted as well. All right, so let me just kind of go along here. Make sure I got all the little holes in the tree. I think I got it. Okay. All right. So let's keep going here. So shadow under this little leopard there. And, this stuff is tiny, guys. I'm pretty zoomed in as much as I can without losing clarity here. If you got any questions, put it in caps. Thanks, guys. So he's got lots of rolls, lots of leathery, bent skin. So I'm going to get in here and up under his face. And I've got this handy just for color, right? Another little antelope thing down here. See how Kerby does opposites, big and small? Up under that little giraffe there. And just some of the darker areas in the tree branch. So I want to make sure these little animals stand out. What did Julie said? Okay, you too, Arlene. Thank you. Thanks for stopping in. Make sure you get enough rest. Arlene's just recovering from a accident and don't like her to be too tired out. Okay. So, every little detail takes some time. Take some time. And a little monkey there in the tree. All right. Coming along, just picking out some of the really dark darks. I like a lot of high contrast in my pieces, so it ends up having like dark blacks and bright whites at some point because I like a lot of contrast in my pages. All right, so let's see. Let's maybe a couple more areas up in these branches. But again, it's because of the acrylic paint that you can really get nice color pencil on top of. In there. Shadow under that branch. You can always keep adding more, just kind of finding my way along the items. That tree going up this way. All right. Oh, let me put the cap back on my white for a minute. All right. So now I'm going to get some of the purple, I think. going to get some of the purple. And again, I know he's facing a different way, but where the light's hitting, like I'm going to have some areas in here and right in here. What? See how? Can you see the purple? See the purple? So that's what I'm going to do next. Is in the tree. Remember, I'm doing the trees the same color as the rhino. The trees are the purple and the blue as well. It's like they're growing out of him. Maybe just a little bit on the tip of the ears. That horn there. So the trees are going to be the same colors. The trees are the same colors. I don't know who this is. I don't answer unknown messages. All right. So can y'all see the purple? Hopefully you can see the purple. It's kind of like in the lighter areas. Remember now, there's a base of acrylic wash on here. So the pencil just like the tooth of it is just perfect. Okay, let's get some back up in these trees. And then I'll put a wash. As soon as I get a little further along on him, I'll go ahead and put the wash of green. I have a nice olive green that I want to put on the trees. So even though if we don't finish it, you'll at least get the direction where we're going. I guess that's a roll in his skin. I keep thinking there's a bird, and there's a tiny bird there, but I keep thinking that right there is another creature, but it's not. Okay, so that'll be maybe enough for now. Just a little hint of the purple in there. Okay, maybe around his little nose here. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some lighter blue. Okay, and kind of almost like on the edge and a little bit over the purple that I just put in. Kind of mixing along the edges of the purple. Just kind of blending it in a little bit. Not too much. No hard pressure yet. Rachel, I keep looking for birds in my rolls. But the tree branches, remember, I'm doing the exact same colors that are in the rhino. So I got to keep kind of going along them as well. Okay, I got a little bit right there. I want to go because it's so easy when you have your pencil on acrylic to look, see how easy it is to make a mark. So that's because the acrylic paint just takes the pencil so easy, but you just cover it back up with some more paint. No, it's wet. I got to remember it. It's wet there. All right, so I'm just going to keep kind of going along every place that I added the purple and kind of adding some blue right next to it. So it kind of goes together, the blue and the purple. So we're just kind of building it up. So thanks everybody that's here. Thanks to all the lurkers. Am I shaking the table? I might be shaking it a lot. All right. So now we have a lot of light blue and purple. So let me get a couple more of these little branches. There we go. Because I want it to all look like it's all part of him. All right, so now let's go ahead and find, I'm going to stop on him for a minute. Move the pencils over here to the side, because then we're going to go in here with some darker gray, blue in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to get some watered down. And this is Hauser Light Green. So I'm going to put a little there, a little Hauser Light Green, and a little bit of water. I want to be careful not to like get in the black and the blue here. So I'm going to kind of come over here on the side. I'll try to move over so y'all can see. A little bit. There we go. And just water it down. This is dried. This is another dried color, so it's not going to be affected. All right, so just a light olivey green. Hi, Dee Dee Battle. Thank you, Lurkers Anonymous. Yeah. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, even though I'm going to have a few different shades of green in the different, from here to these to this, I'm just going to start, and then there's little branches. There's some darker in the back. I am still just going to put an initial wash of the olivey green everywhere. And because I know that this is going to be black background, I don't even worry about this going out of lines, because I'm going to paint all this black back here. So I'm not worried about that, because that's going to get painted black. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in here and do all the green. But light enough that you can see through it. It's very, very light, guys. I showed you on those axolotls how light you can still see every bit of them through the paint. A little bit more water. But it's so much quicker to have a base. You think, well, you're just going to pencil over most of it, but you just don't know how much quicker it goes. Not that I'm trying to say you got to go fast or anything like that, but you can get so much more done and more shading with your pencils if you have a base down. You wouldn't think it so, but it is so. So there's just a light wash of that olive green over all those branches. So you've already got a base, and I know it's a little flat. There you go. It's a little better that way. You can see a little bit more. It just makes it so much easier to do your penciling if you have a base. Just saying. Okay. And there's a little bit of tree here where the giraffe is eating. And then I need a little more water. So all this, even though it's going to probably be a different shade of green, you could change the shade of green if you want to, but it's going to be, it's part of I'm not sure if that's part of a bird or a branch right there. But And even if there's some little wildflowers or something, you can always go back over this paint with pencil. So, just getting it all in there. You probably want some wax paper so you don't go up underneath of the edge. You want to be careful not to let it seep up under to the next page. Okay. All right, so I think I got most of it. Let's dry it. Well, let me clean my brush out. All right. Oh my gosh, you got a year-old male, Tori? And I'm going to turn it and, kind of dry the backside, helps flatten any warping out. And it can warp a little, but by the time you finish with the color pencil, both sides, you will not see warping. But I dry both sides. Okay, let me go back to my photo here of the black rhino and look at some more of the darker color. All right, so now I'm going to get in here with the darker gray, blue gray. This is slate gray. So, and I might even need to get one shade darker gray. That's going to be good. And then I need an actual gray. Let me come over here. Like a blue gray. Here we go. Espresso. That's probably going to work. Yeah. So it's just one shade lighter than like black. Espresso and slate gray. All right, so let's go ahead with the slate gray first because I don't want to get too dark yet. And I want to make sure I leave some highlights on the edges of the tree branches and the horns and the ears here. So this is, but because it's all base coated with acrylic paint. It's just I can't even explain it. It just gives it such a nice little tooth to work on top of. That you just don't have if you just try to use just the pencil. So just get on in here and start doing more shading. And you can see a lot, because you have the line art underneath. As long as you didn't get your paint too thick, you can follow the line art that Kerby or whatever, the artist is that left put the shading lines and, different, this guy's very wrinkly. So you got lots of, little lines under there to work with. What book am I working in, Patricia? Fragile World. Fragile World. Okay, so I'm going to keep. And you can just, you can build it up as dark as you want. But don't lose all those colors that you put in, the light blue, the purple. Make sure that you can still see them. But I'm going right up into the branches and everything because, like I said, I'm making that part of him, right? And then, of course, the branches come up in the trees. Let me sharpen. So there's no brown trees in this. It's all blue. It's all blue and gray, just like him. There's some little birds all in there too. I'll throw those in here in a minute with the Posca. Okay, so I'm just getting all the little branches. They're all through the trees. Do you have any questions or anything? We all staying with the tour. It's a little. Is it? Let me try to turn the light down just a tad. There we go. It's a little better. Getting a little personality as I go, Kathy. I got to keep sharpening because I'm a nice sharp point to get these little branches up in here. And you think, well, you're covering so much of what you painted. You're covering up, with a pencil. But you just don't, unless you've done this, you don't know the feel that it gives you and the texture and the way the pencil can do so many more things. The pencil can do so much more on top of acrylic paint than it can just on the straight paper or on top of other pencil. Oops, sorry guys, I got on a frame there. So, you just have to really do it to see the difference that it makes. And then let me give you an example. All right, see right here where I got some black paint. Now maybe that branch didn't go all the way up, but I want to show you what you can do. All right, so you see that branch is not connected up there. Well, look, because there's paint there, look, I just go like that and there's the branch. I can add more branches. I can do, I could come in here and add, look how easy it is to add branches if I want more. And don't worry, Kerby is not going to email you and say, there was no branch there. You can go in here and add as many branches as you want, but because that black is acrylic paint, you can go in here and just do so much. You can add tons more branches. Like this vine here is going this way. Maybe I want it to go over there. Maybe I want it some more over there. It's just that because that acrylic paint is there, you can just, do as much. You can add another loopy loop there. You could add another one there. You see how easy it is just to go right over the top of that black acrylic paint? Yeah. Hi, Gary. So it's just a great special effect to do with your pencil if you're working on top of an acrylic paint base. All right, so let's finish these branches up in here. Again, we're making the rhino the same color like he's part of the branches, right? Like he's part of it. So I want to make sure and get some of his rolls in here. He's got all kinds of rolls and folds. And I know, Rachel, you're going to say you have rolls and folds too. Right? You wanted to say it, didn't you? You wanted to say it. I know you did. Okay, up in these little trees here. In there. So again, if I want more branches coming off here, I can add more. Sharpening. Thanks, Patricia. So let's get all these little tiny branches up in here and here. And you can make them, vary the color. I'm just kind of trying to get as many in here as possible, just to, so you can see. Let's add another one there, maybe another one there. You can make this just as branchy as you want. Let's add a couple extras over here. But the only reason this is working is because of the acrylic paint that's there. That's how I'm able just to make my own little branches or anything I want over that black. All right, so now let's go ahead and put in, these little birds here. And again, I can do it with pencil, but don't know if I can get it quite as small as I want. So these little birds were in here, and I just kind of left a little bit of a white, just a little tiny piece of white there, just so I can kind of remember where Kerby put some. But you can put, and I probably will, as many more birds as you want. Now, some of these I might put a little bit of color in. I don't know if I want them all white birds, but some of these way here in the back. I'm just going to go ahead and just put a few extras, maybe little flocks, just little flocks here and there. You can add a couple more wherever you want. If you want it, just a random bird there. But I did leave these little white areas just where Kerby had some in there. Let's put a couple extra. Same thing for over here. Maybe a couple extra. Just kind of flicking around some birds there. Okay. And again, see, this is how he drew them, just random little, and again, this is going to all be black up in here, and then I'll have those little birds up there. I just didn't want to take the time to color all that in because we'll run out of time. You can probably will, love your, hi, Scrap Girl 13, good to see you. Anybody else I missed come in? And I said hi to C&P, Cat and Pace. If y'all have not seen Cat, oh my gosh. All right, excuse me. Let me take a sip of juice. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? I got it here with my Rhino picture. Again, let me show you the picture here of the colors. See all the colors? Let me show you one more time. Then we're going to go look at Cat and Pace. Let me zoom in. Look at the purple. See the purple in there? Don't look at my crumbly pencil. This is one of my old ones. There. Look at the purple. Where's my blues? What do I do with them? Oh, here's these. Let me get the dark one. Look, see the blue? So just because it's a black rhino doesn't mean you have to let's just do them gray, You don't have to just do them gray. Bird challenge. I can't draw. So, but look at the colors that, when you look for a reference picture for color, look how bright white. Oh, all right, let me just stop a minute here. Let me get my Posca here. Look what's going to happen when I add this white to this, just to show you. Let's get it going over there. I'll do one tree here, just to kind of let you see how much of a difference it makes. Let's go right on that branch. Let's do a couple branches so you can kind of see. And his horns and his ears. And then right in here. And then if you do any major coloring on it, kind of tap it down, like kind of so it blends in, so you just don't have, a white line in a bright spot. And it does take a little bit of practice, but I just want to show you how you can add the highlights. Okay, see look how white it is along that horn, right? Or under the nostril, or some of these rolls. All right, so now let me show you. Look at, see, I can't bring it any closer. I'm already so zoomed in. Can you see? Look at that where I went up those branches right here. Let me do a couple. Let's do a couple up here. See how adding that highlight just makes it stand out? Maybe there's some rolls in the tree. And you don't have to leave them this bright. Remember I showed you earlier how you can take pencil and go over this. Okay. You don't have to leave it this bright white. So if I do all these little like tree, you know, I don't want to call them rolls like they are on him. They're like skin folds or rolls on him. The tree texture. So you can get all these little textures with the Posca, right? But make sure it's dry. But once it's dry, you can go in here and go over it with your blue, your purple, your gray, and knock it back. So it's not bright, but it's still it will retain a brightness underneath of the Posca. So even if you go back over this Posca with a gray, a purple, a blue, whatever, it's going to still retain that brightness like I showed you on, what's the other book? Like on this tree here. See all those little dots right there? They were all really bright white. But when you go over them with the green, it knocks it back. And that's the same thing that's going to happen here. All right, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to go over to Instagram because I want to show y'all Cat and Paste coloring lately. Oh my gosh, she has been doing some awesome skin fold. Okay, Rachel. All right, let me just want to see here. Cat. Okay, so let me show you some of the amazing coloring she's been doing lately. So she's been doing some awesome Cat and Paste and Trisha Green. They have been doing some awesome coloring. Look at this. Look at those pears. Y'all need to go over to Instagram. Y'all need to follow each other on Instagram. Oh, this is her little chipmunk. Look. There's her little chipmunk. Hers is, what's his name? Chester. Hers is Chester. My chipmunk's name is Chippy. But look at Chester. Love that. But she's been doing some awesome. Look at this. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's so good. So go follow Cat and Paste here. Look at this. I know, right? I'm telling y'all. And this one, I mean, I really like the way mine turned out when I did this page in Luna. But oh my gosh, Kat, you did amazing. Look at this. Look at her tomatoes with the water drops. It just looks so good. Look at that background. Look at that background. So this was awesome. I know, right, Julie? So yeah. And most of us here are on Instagram. So go follow each other. Julie Topaz posts something like 5 times a day. Not quite, but Julie has worked. She does some kind of art like literally every day for years without like ever missing a day. Now, whether she posts it all every day, she might post 5 things in one day that she's worked on for the last few days or whatever. But yeah, so... Okay, so let's go ahead. Now I want to show you before we get back too much more in him. I want to come up here on, we just have this wash of watered down olive Hauser light green. And it's just a wash so that we can work our pencil on top. So let me pick a couple of colors here. I'm not going to get too many. I'll just get 2 or 3. And then I'll show you again with the Posca if you want some highlights. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me sharpen. They're not sharp. They're not sharp. You got to sharpen. Okay. All right, so now the first thing I'm going to do is see all these little pockets of really dark. I'm going to start with the dark green. Now, it's probably going to end up even being darker than this with maybe dark green. But I'm going to start with this green, which, sometimes I try to tell y'all, this is moss green. This one is lime peel. And this one is chartreuse, I think. Yeah, chartreuse. So there's a couple of shades of green. So I'm going to take the darkest. So I'm going to start with all the really, really dark shadows. Okay. That tip I always snap the very, very tip off my pencils. All right. So now I'm going to just get in here. And again, I'm working on top of acrylic paint. Now, I know you're going to see my little branches disappear here for a minute, but I'll show you what we're going to do. So first I'm going to get in here with all and again, I'm mostly following Kerby's shadows. He's already got the shadows in there. So I'm just following on top. It's not that hard when you have a good artist that's giving you some good line art and shadows to color on top of. It really isn't. Okay, so let me get around some of these branches just so I can show you what I mean. Because that's where some of the darkest darks are. So get in some of those areas. And look how dull. See, it's already gone dull. So need to sharpen. You got to keep sharpening. Hello, a view. How you doing, a view? Oh, now I pushed too hard on that. I'm trying to get a little ahead, so I'm trying to let's hurry up and get this dark in there. Okay, so let me get some of those around the branches that I just put in. Has a lot of shadow around those branches. Because what I want to show you is when I'm going to go back in with the Posca. All right, so there's a start. All right, so I've got like mostly around where the branches are going into the tree. It's really dark. So the branches themselves, because they're kind of the same hue, the green and the blue, they kind of like blend in together and you kind of lose them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here on the branches and just put a little bit of light on just where the branches are. I'm not pushing down, I'm just kind of just skimming across the top. Just kind of skimming across the top of those branches. Right over the top of the green. Right over the top of the dark green I just put in. I'll hold it up a little bit here in a minute. Hopefully you can see. All right, let me kind of try to hold this up because I can't zoom in anymore. I'm going to lose it. All right, so like right here. All right, watch. And it's bright white, but it doesn't have to stay bright white. You can go back in here as soon as it's dry, as soon as the Posca's dry, or you can hit it with a heat gun and go back in over the Posca with the light blue. And this will still be nice and bright. It'll still be nice and bright, but it won't be white. Okay, can y'all see that? So all those little branches, and then you can wait till you get a little further along before doing that. But I don't want to miss showing it to you. So I'm just going to kind of go in here and get some more of these main branches that are coming off of the top of his head, around his ear, the top of his ear. Again there. Maybe a couple of these branches. And then again, make sure it's 100% dry before you go back in here with pencil. So you can have some of these like textures coming around, going different ways. Then our little bird, there's a couple birds here that are a little bit bigger than those little bitty ones there. So I don't want to lose those little guys. One right there. Okay, some more branches. All right, so you see all the white there? All right, so let me, hi Riri. All right, let me hit it with the heat gun. Okay, now you can go back in there with the light blue on your branches. Because remember, my branches are blue because he's a blue purple, and all the branches are like growing off of him, so they're all the same color. So there's no brown branches in this one. Okay, and then the same thing down in here. I can get the green. Oh, that's great. Can get the green down in around these branches too. Okay, so but I want to show you the idea, so I don't have to show you every branch. You'll get the idea by doing a few. All right, so now I can take my light blue, and let's see if I can hold this up here so you can see. And I can go over the white, and then the branches will still be blue, and the you'll still see the Posca up underneath of the blue, but now the Posca is no longer white. It's still bright, but it's not white. But you still see the underlying Posca. Can y'all see that? See how it knocks the brightness is still there, but it's not bright white? I hope that's showing up because that's really important. See how they're still bright, but they're not white? See the difference between that one and that one? But you still see the Posca up underneath. Corrector ink. Well, if you have a nice, I don't know how thick. Sometimes the corrector inks are thick. Look how tiny that point is, and you can even get smaller ones. So if you think you can do it. Now, a gel pen's not going to do the same thing. I know people say, well, the gel pen is such a small little tip. You can put the white in there with the gel pen, but trying to go over it with pencil, you're probably just going to kind of erase it. And of course, that's probably going to depend on the type of gel pen as well. All right, so let me stop on this for a minute because I want to get in with some other greens. All right. Hi, G. All right, so I just want to at least do a section. Okay, so now I'm going to get in here on the tops, like the tops of all these little clusters. Okay, so now I'm going to go on the top of all the little, I'm just going to do a little section like this. I'm just going to get on the top. And again, this is all going to be black up here. I just didn't get to it yet. So I'm going to get all the little tops. Now, I don't want to just go solid green and thinking, well, I'll just shade after that, because then you're going to cover up. If you just start going all over the whole thing with pencil, you're going to cover up all your acrylic, which you don't want to do. You don't want to cover up all that acrylic paint right away. You eventually will probably cover it all up, but you want to do it a little at a time because it's that texture of the acrylic paint. Now I'm going to go into the next darkest one here. That you can, that gives it that texture. So now I'm going to kind of go right up under that chartreuse with the lime peel. Just kind of taking my time, a little section at a time. And right now I'm just kind of working right in here. So then I got that shade of green going on. So I'm going to get, like 3 or 4 shades of green in here, but just a little at a time. But you see how it's on top of the acrylic? Hi, Ashley. All right, now I'm going to get in here. Let me sharpen. And now I can kind of get in here. And just do a little at a time. It takes a while, but tell you, it's a lot less time with the base of acrylic than not. Because your pencils just work so nice over that acrylic. See how we're starting to build up in there? Got to keep sharpening though. And I'm just doing little like this. I'm just kind of doing little things like this. I'm going to do it bigger here, but I'm just doing this. I'm doing like that, but just tiny in these little. See how it's starting to come to life? Or more depth, I should say. And you can go back and forth, so you can think, oh, I need a little bit more medium green in that area. You can go back and forth. All right, so I'm going to stop on this for a minute because I want to continue on his little face here before we run out of time. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my espresso and my gray blue, these two. Okay, so now I'm going to get in here with some espresso. Let me go back to my little picture to show y'all the colors. Okay, see all the colors? So now I'm getting into the espresso here. So let me show again. So the espresso, I have this blue grayish color right there. And then I had the lighter blue. And I have the purple. See how you can see all those colors in there? Okay, and you just build it up, and you can get the little model-y look in there. Okay, so let's keep going here. Whoops, I broke that one. Let me sharpen again. This pencil might be one of the, it's got a center. Oh, that's the other tip I'll show y'all. Although I thought maybe this one was off center because I'm having a little problem with this one, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having a problem with this particular pencil, because usually if you're having a trouble sharpening, it means that your lead is off center there, but this one's not off center, so I don't know why this one's being a little bit of a pain. And I know I have more of these pencils, guys. Don't think that just because I get down to some of them, like, let me show you. Jan will go, Dee Dee. I'll get down. I'll start using little nubs and stuff. I can hold these pencils like down to nothing, so it just doesn't bother me. And yes, I have pencil extenders. I've got pencil extenders. A little nub in there. So, I can just doesn't bother me to use them when they get little, but all right, so let's see. All right, so now I want to get in here and kind of do a little bit of a modelly effect. So I want to get some like more texture to him. So I'm going to get in here with some of the really dark and give them a little bit more textury skin. You just got to kind of go back and forth between the lightest light and the darkest dark, and then a little color medium, but it just starts building up. But I always tell you, my color book pages are not tutorials. They're like demos of how I do stuff. But I don't sit here and tell you every color. Okay, I'm picking up number so and so right now, and now we're going to pick up color. I don't do that, guys. I just don't. There's other ones that do, you know, and I'm glad that they're there that do that, but I just don't, because I'm talking to you guys so much, trying to read chat and everything. I can't really just read off every pencil. Yeah, pencil holders work. Yeah, Jan. So I don't do that, you know. I don't. I'll try to tell y'all some of the colors I'm using, but it's not like a paint by number where I can say, okay, right in here is where you add this color, because you see I'm all over the place. Now I might come in here and that might need a little bit more purple over the top, and so it's not like a formula where I can just, you know, where we're doing you know, just a certain area has got a certain color, because it just doesn't work that way, because I'm blending and moving all the time. So I want some different little skin textures here. But you can see how it's starting to build up. I'm giving you hand cramps with this. It just doesn't bother me. Yeah. I'm kind of just working all around. Let's go down here a little bit on his body. Give him a little more texture on the legs. And then these little antelope down here have these long horns. I forget what these guys are called. There's a name for those particular kind that have those long horns, but I don't want to lose those long horns, so I want to put those on there just so I don't lose them. Hope y'all are kind of getting some ideas from this. I try to give all the tips. I don't have any secrets. If there's a tip I use with shading or Posca or, you know, anything, I tell y'all. I don't have any secret tips. They're all out there. I tell y'all everything I do. But like, is it in this one? Okay, so look at my panda. Look at all the colors in the panda. And if you look at a panda, this is the colors that they are. They're not black and white. They have blue and brown, and they have all these different shades in them. So when I colored them, I looked and I picked out the real colors that you would see if they were like in a shadowed area. See, these are the shadow. He's in a shadowed bamboo, right? So because he's in a shadowed bamboo, these are the shadow colors of him. And again, I have to tilt it a little to get the glare off of it. There you go. It wants to flash out because I'm so, you know, close in. Let me see if I can turn the brightness down just a little bit more. There we go. All right. Well, I am going to, let me go ahead, guys. We got to do our giveaway. So let's go ahead and zoom out here so you can kind of see the full. We got to read our 1001 Ways to Be Creative couple of pages, and I want to do our giveaway. We're going to do that right now for all you guys that stuck around. And if you're lurking, come on in. Come on in so you can be in the giveaway. So listen to the rules. Please listen to the rules of a giveaway. We're going to give away this flow book. This is our Faithful Nest sent us a bunch of these. I've got this one and one more left. And it's got all kinds of paper and tip-ins and fold outs, and it's just awesome. Flow books are really nice, and they're expensive. That being said, they're also heavy, and I can't send them international. So what I do, let me take a sip of juice. I give the book, I do a book giveaways, US only. And then I will give, I'll do a separate international giveaway, and I'll let you pick one of the prints. I'll pull a couple prints because some of y'all already give to my channel, and I don't want to duplicate the print, or, you know, maybe if you support the channel all along, I won't have a new print for you. You'll just have to pick one. Okay, so here's how we do it. Are y'all listening? Listening. Don't put any numbers in until you see me. When you see me, type in go, go, go. That's when you put in a number between 1 and 100. This is for USA only. One number only. Okay. Hey, I'm back. First person closest without going over. Let me bring up random.org. The first person closest without going over. So let's say the number comes up at 50. Somebody puts in the number 2 and someone puts in the number 51. The person with number 2 is going to win because they didn't go over. Okay. So it's the first person closest without going over of the random.org, which I'm bringing up now. Okay, so let's go. All right, so here's our random.org, and here's our little box. You're going to put in a number between 1 and 100, and I'll generate the number after everybody puts their number in, okay? Okay. Yeah, for some reason, the number 88 is something screwed up, so don't put that in. But other than that, I don't know. I don't even know why. But anyway, here's the rules. And it's US only. We're going to do a separate giveaway. We're going to do a separate giveaway for international. Okay, guys? Okay, so just hang loose. All right. All right, there. I typed it in, so now you can put in a number. And it takes me a minute because they all start flying right. There they go. There they go. Whoosh! They all zoom right by. And my mods are allowed to play. My mods are have just as much opportunity and get as much chance as anybody else to play. I don't know that they've ever... Maybe they've won once or twice, but mods usually, they don't usually win, but they're allowed to play, just FYI. So if somebody goes on, Janet, put in a number, the mods are allowed to play. Okay, so I'm going to count down. Don't dilly-dally. Don't dilly-dally, because after you see the word stop, after you see that, when I type it in, no more numbers count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. All right, let me bring my phone back up here. All right, here we go. Let's see. 75. The first person closest to 75 without going over. USA only. Okay? USA only. First person closest to 75. Don't forget, guys, you need to have live chat. Click live chat or you will not see all the chat numbers. And a lot of times you think your number comes up the very first number. but I go by what my mods and everybody else sees. So you may not see your number, especially if you don't have live chat. Everybody make sure you have live chat. Otherwise, you will not see all the chat. Okay, so let's see. All right, so Ray had 71, somebody said. Oh, okay, Arlene. Somebody said that number was hijacked as an. Okay. All right. All right. Looks like so far I see 2 or 3 people saying it was Ray. Okay. So my mod said Ray. So, Ray, you are in the US, correct? Let's make sure. Ray had 71. All right. Email me your address, Ray. I think I have it, but do it again just so I make sure I have your current address. There is my address, my email. I do not share anybody's addresses with anybody, not even the mods. So if you send me your address for a winner, for a giveaway, I do not share your address. I don't put you on an email list. I'm not going to be harassing you. Okay. All right. So Ray, email me your address. Again, here it is, my email. Put it in again. Just to make sure I have your current address. Okay. Did it go in? There it is. Okay. So Ray, now I'm going to do one for international. International only. Same deal. Don't put any numbers in until I type in go. Wait till I type in go. Same rules apply. Okay. One number only. Okay. All right. So when you see me type in go, international only. Okay. International only. And so that means anybody other than the United States, Canada, Australia, UK, anywhere else other than the US. I'm going to send you a print because I just can't do the books. Okay, so let's see. Let me get we're going to do a new number on random.org. Give everybody just a few seconds. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. Yes, my cat herding session. That's right, Arlene. All right, so get your numbers in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. All right, so the last winner was 75. So now we're going to generate a new number. Here we go. 90. The first person closest to 90. People are going to duplicate numbers, Devin. That's why I always say it's the first person. First person closest without going over, because there's going to be duplicate duplicate numbers. So that's why if everybody put in the same number, it's the first person. Okay. So the first person closest to 90. Okay. First person closest to 90. Okay. Terry Brett had 83. Is that everybody agree? Yeah. Picola. Okay. So Terry Brett, I'm going to show you make sure you're here so I can, let me show you some prints, and you can pick one here. Hang on, because I don't know if you might be supported the channel over the months, and you may have them all. So, but I'm going to let you pick one. I'll let you pick one of these 4. Okay. All right. You ready? Terry, you ready? Here we go, Terry. The Blue Jay. You can pick the Blue Jay, the gazebo, the mermaid gazebo, This is this month's print, which is just calling it the bluebird. We'll just call it bluebird or an armadillo. So you can pick any of these. The armadillo, bluebird, gazebo, or the blue jay. This is the blue jay. This is the bluebird. Blue jay, bluebird, gazebo, or armadillo. Which one do you want? Let me get my little, where's my puzzle? Here we go. Okay. All right. Which one do you want, Terry? Which one do you want? The blue jay. Okay, so Terry wants the blue jay. All right. There you go, Terry. That will go to you. And congratulations, Ray. Thank you, Ray, for playing, and you won the book. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and read out of our 1001 Ways to Be Creative. Don't forget, guys, if you didn't get the homework, I did that at the beginning, toward the beginning, within the first hour. And go get grab your homework that's due on Monday. But it's always an ongoing thing. You can always keep posting anything you want in the Society of Idea Collectors. But here's the thing, guys. You don't necessarily have to put the week. You don't necessarily have to put the week number of the homework, but put like if it's opposites, stamping, or whatever the project was, kind of put that in your description so that people will know, well, which project was this? Was this the food one? Was this the opposites? Was this, just do something like that. Oh, you're welcome, Terry. You're welcome. You're welcome. And Ray, congratulations to you too. So Ray and Terry, there y'all go. All right, so now we're going to read. And when I finish this, I don't know that I'm going to do it today. It might be tomorrow. But whenever I finish any of my pages, I do post them on Instagram. But I can't promise. I've been kind of busy with, Samantha's graduation and party, and she's got to get her to Florida, and my garden, and so yeah. A couple of commissions. I got the cat one done. I got to finish the dog one, which is in progress. So I can't promise that this is going to get posted on Instagram today. Just saying. All right. So now we're going to read our couple of pages out of 1001 Ways to Be Creative, a little book of everyday inspiration by Barbara Ann Kipfer. And I'll read the ISBN. I got it at Tuesday morning for $3.99. My Tuesday morning closed, so maybe yours did too. But here's the ISBN number. I can't see it. Hang on. Let me get my move, baby, move. I can't see these ISBN numbers without a magnifying glass. 978-14262. 19078. So, and you can get it on Amazon. Okay, so now let's go over here and read. So we have a quote over here. Now remember, when I'm reading these off to you, if some other idea, some other inspiration, some other thought occurs to you while I'm reading these to you, make sure you write down in your Society of Idea or wherever you're collecting your sketchbook, whatever, Post-it note, write down what occurs to you, because that's your thought, your idea. And oh my gosh, you're so cute, baby girl. Oh my gosh, she's just rolling over there looking so cute. All right. We travel because we need to, because distance and difference are the secret tonic of creativity. When we get home, home is still the same, but something in our mind has been changed, and that changes everything. All right, so let me read a couple pages we're at number 555. So let me read a couple of these. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me get my pointer out. I'll get my pointer. I know it's a Torah pointer, but I use it to point for you guys. My little Torah pointer. I love my little pointer. Okay, so All right, here we go. Read collections of letters to spur new ideas. Sketch places you have lived, visited, studied, and worked to help retrieve forgotten ideas. Choose a creative project with the express purpose of learning something about yourself. Make dates with yourself to read, dream, and be alone. We're going to read two more. Cheryl, listen, class. Make a coin rubbing picture. Y'all know how to do a rubbing, right? With like a piece of graphite or a pencil, but and then some like tissue paper or tracing paper and put it over something and make a rubbing. Fill a page with pencil graphite, then use an eraser to draw on the page. Use your favorite word in all of your conversations today. Keep an inspiration box of articles, ads, artwork, photos, and anything else that sparks your creativity. Make a comic strip of your life or a zine, like Janet's made little newspaper zines. To grow, you have to take risks. Draw something that is messy or disorganized. Try to capture its chaotic energy. Figure out where you most often get your ideas. Return to this well frequently. So there is our ideas. I got the tab for the next week, and I do try to remember to read out this book every week. Put my little pointer away. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you got some coloring ideas. We did not finish it, but I think you see where we're going. And of course, I will post whenever I do finish it. You can kind of see the colors a little better there when we're not so zoomed in. And this is out of Fragile World, Kerby Rosanes. And they're all endangered. So, yeah. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. And if y'all have any questions, make it quick. So I think I'm going to go throw a pizza in the oven. Sorry, Janet. Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Tori. And I hope you're all right, Tori. I think about you. I did send you out a print, Tori. Of course, I don't know how long it'll take to get to Ireland, but I did send you a print, Tori, a get well print. And thanks to my mods. Thanks, Bacola. Thanks, Janet, Julie Topaz, and Tina. I think Tina had to go take her mom somewhere. So thanks, Janet. Thanks, everybody. Yep, there you go. Thanks, Devin. Thanking the mods. Thanks, Christine. Thanks, Cat and Pace. All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Do some homework. And we will see you either at other people's streams or we'll see you on Monday. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye, guys.